It is beautiful back here. It's amazing what nature can do when we just leave it alone. What's going on? I'm Eric, back again, and I hope by the end of this video, I can convince you guys to grow your own food. Like, let me take you up here to the food forest so I can show you what I'm talking about. Alright, and we're up here. This is the food forest. Everything behind me, that's all food. There's a cherry tree, a pear tree, there's some peach trees right here, and some blackberries over here. A lot's changed since spring's come back around, so I figured I would take you guys around the food forest, show you what we got growing on, and drop some knowledge on you about some why I think you should get into this kind of stuff. There's nothing like a peaceful rain. But anyway, I want to talk about, one of the reasons I think this is gardening is good for you is just for your mental health. Coming out here and seeing everything growing and being able to get your hands in the dirt, and there's something about a garden that just makes you accept things, and you learn acceptance because either it's going to grow or it's not. Something else I find awesome about gardening is that it's the bonds that you create with nature and other people that you garden with. So for me, there's no way I can take credit for building all of this. My wife helps me do this too. That bond, a family that grows together stays together. Another reason I think you should garden, people should get into, especially this type of gardening. You hear about deforestation, and we see in our local area a bunch of developments going up. Those guys aren't putting anything, they're not planting any vegetables or fruit trees or anything like that. If anything, they plant a bunch of ornamentals that don't feed anybody. So I look at it like, why plant ornamentals if you could plant something in your yard that, you could plant an apple tree that could feed you for years. Not to mention, when these developers put in these houses, they dig up all the trees, they dig up all the vegetation, the natural vegetation, and that causes erosion. Then we get flooding and all that. Imagine if everybody had a yard like this. All of those developments, they all pitched in together, and everybody grew what they could grow. And, just a huge garden community. There would be no more hungry. And, we can talk about the flooding and, the erosion, but you also have to realize that they're taking all of the habitat away from the animals. It's kind of stabbing ourselves in the back, because why have hunting laws if you're going to allow developers to come in and just take away the habitat? They're actually worse than the hunters. And if you really want to talk about hunting, we all got to eat, and nobody's planting anything. The farmers are the old school farmers are dying off, and they're passing their land down to the next generation, but the next generation doesn't want to farm it. It's a lot of work. And now, seems like we have a shortage of farmers and gardeners nowadays, and now we're seeing these spikes in our food prices, and it's not good. I remember back in like the 90s when my mom, she could fill up a grocery cart for 20 bucks. And nowadays you're lucky if you get out of there with a couple packs of meat for $20. Well, I don't want to keep you guys too much longer, but there's a lot of reasons to start a food forest. Money, just mental health, and just if you just want to see things look prettier outside. So I hope I was able to persuade at least one person into growing their own food, because it's more important than you think it is, and than many think it is. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. My name's Eric. Get growing.